Welcome back to Thursday Thoughts, a Bourbon Lens production. In this week's episode, we're going to continue our conversation from last week. I've spent the last, couple days thinking about this and then utilizing the tools and resources I've have, Google, ChatGPT, Claude, all the AI tools, because there's so many of you all reviewing whiskey and it's amazing, or reviewing spirits. Because I looked outside of the category, right? Rum and gin and vodka even, right? There's people reviewing spirits all around the world. And so I just want to say thank you, because your content allows me to figure out what I think might be the most objective way to tell a story when it comes to spirits. That leads me to just a little bit of an offshoot. And this is a lot like my day job. I love the idea of proving something like qualitative data, or something that we have not quantified from a qualitative perspective, and try to, at its core, make it a quantity, right? And there's a lot of subjectivity when it comes to bourbon scores. As we talked about last week, we have got the barrel rating and the star system and the out of 100 and out of 5 and out of 10. And so utilizing the tools and resources that I've had to look at that and objectively have a conversation and look at the standard deviation, I'm first going to say this right away. If you want to participate and you want to be a part of this beta, comment beta below, and we'd love to have you be a part of the community scoring guide. It's not the Bourbon Lens scoring guide, it's the community, because I want your information, your thoughts, along with the guardrails that we'll create and we'll talk about in this video, to inform our decisions. Does the standard deviation need to change? Do we need to normalize the median? Whatever that looks like. So we'll use this real, true, working, breathing Google Sheet to make this come alive. And we want you to be a part of it. So again, comment beta below, and then I'll shoot you a note, get your email address, and get you tagged to the Google Sheet. So we'd love you to be a part of that. So going into this, I've got a script over here, so I'm going to be in and out of frame a little bit. But why the scoring system? We talked about this last week. We don't really need to blow this out any more than it is. I think there's time for objectivity in a subjectivity-driven bourbon whiskey world. And we need that because there's so many good whiskeys, and we only talk about the brand new releases and the high end and the quality. And the average drinker may just go pick up that handle of Evan Williams White Label for $23.99 at Costco. Or they may go pick up Old Grandad 114, shout out Steve Coombs, to go make cocktails, right? Whatever that looks like, we want to make sure that there's a rating and an objectivity to that. However, the first few 5 Minute Fridays that we'll do after this are all going to be limited releases. So, hey, Jake, don't be a dick. Do what you're actually saying. We'll get to that. So let's talk about the scoring rubric, how this works. So it's pretty much as tells all the time: nose, palate, finish, right? Those three things we talk about ad nauseum. That's great. But we're adding 2 additional columns: availability and price/value. And we've put some guardrails around that, what that looks like. Again, so for the Heaven Hill Master Distillers Unity, the availability is like 1, right? Because it's 4,000 bottles. But the value on that 35-year-old bourbon with 14 and more, the value on that's a 15. And that's 15 out of 15, right? So there's objectivity in that. And so how the rubric breaks down and give you how this scoring works: 27.5 for nose, 27.5 for palate. Those two go hand in hand. They're lockstep with one another, I believe. Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people that do this for a living, and they talk about how the nose will inform a lot of the palate. The finish 20, the value 15, and the availability 10. The nose means, some objective guardrails. So a 0 means flat, off-putting. 27 means rich, layered, continuing to grow and evolve. For the palate, harsh, one-dimensional. At 0, 27.5, perfectly balanced, complex, integrated. Do the whiskeys that are blended together mingle the way they're supposed to? Also, the taste memory bias, right? We have to think about the bias that we have in this. And so, did I love the style? Did someone give me a sample of Lagavulin and I don't like peat? Can I objectively get past that? Or note my bias, right? We want to be very focused on that. Then we also want to talk about the normalization of this, right? So our median raw score, 50 is our median, right? That is 50 out of 100. We don't talk about that a lot of whiskey. We talk about 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100s. Let's normalize this. So, right, what is the standard deviation? What's that normalization? Is the median 50? Don't worry about it. The math will work, right? So we will make this a science experiment that we want you to be a part of. Again, comment beta below, shoot you a note, we'll get you added to that Google sheet so you can be integrated in this. So in practice, how this works. So we are shooting to get 50 bottles scored. So this will be normalized. I can't do that all on my own, as I mentioned. Comment beta below. But so this is how this works. So the nose, the score is 18, the palate's 19, the finish is 12, the value is 10, the availability is 9. So that's a 68. After calibration across 50 bottles, that same whiskey might normalize to a 50, meaning it's average for our tasting set here on the community palate. The normalized score also feeds in plain language verdicts that we can utilize. 90 plus is outstanding, buy without hesitation. 80 to 90, solid, worth trying. 70 to 90 or 70 to 79, average. Below 70, I'm not saying that I wouldn't recommend it, but as we normalize these things, we might find that the curve changes over time and the verdicts need to change, right? 50 to 70, we might really want to try those, and anything below 50, we might not want to. So stick with us as we do this experiment. And then lastly, this is Thursday Thoughts. This is my thought. This is my brain working in a way that I want to be able to prove something out. So prove with us or not prove with us, it's fine. But go on this ride. Make sure you're subscribed to the Bourbon Lens on YouTube and go with us as we experience what it's like to build an objective system. We've got a few people already in here working and rating with us. We'd love to have you a part of this. So make sure you're checking out Friday, tomorrow, for our first review, Heaven Hills Master Distillers Unity. And then the following week, we will look at Wyoming Whiskey National Parks Acadia. And then after that, Frey Ranch versus Second Harvest from Frey Ranch. So we're excited about this. Please join us on this journey. Catch you next week for Thursday Thoughts. I'll be in Hilton Head. What thought will I have then? Until next time, cheers.